What is going on, YouTube? It is your host with the most, Quick Snoopy, and today we're giving you the ultimate beginner's guide on Dota 2. And this game can be a little bit difficult for people. It's just a really difficult game that has a huge learning curve. I'm here to kind of help you guys today understand the main basic parts of Dota 2. And we're going to go more in depth in different episodes, but this is just going to be part one of this series. So basically, when you launch Dota 2, you can download it off Steam, which is the program used on the computer. If you're looking at Dota, I assume that you know how to, get it and install it and stuff. But anyways, it's on Steam. And when you open it up, it's going to be at the main menu here. And it looks kind of overwhelming. I mean, you have your feed right here. This guy says Justin Bieber is his hero. But yeah, you can, type things in here or whatever. And you can also see my level and everything. So basically, what I want to show you guys is if we go over to the Learn selection, which is at the top, you might be coming from League of Legends or any other different type of MOBA, which actually stands for Multiplayer Online Battle Arena, the genre of this game. You're going to see the three different things here. You have the mechanics, the guided bot matches, and the regular bot matches. You can do these if you feel like you want to learn the basics of the game. Again, I do feel it is a bit difficult starting out. I had a little bit of trouble, and I'll kind of tell you guys how I overcame that with this game and stuff. So definitely want to check out these bot matches and the mechanics and stuff if you are fairly new to the MOBA genre. I also kind of want to show the hero selection as well. And I know this can get actually extremely overwhelming because they're always adding new heroes and stuff. But you're going to have your strength heroes. So we can look at, Tidehunter, right? And it shows right here, it has the fist. He is a strength hero. What that means is typically strength heroes are going to have a lot more strength and more power and stuff like that. So these are going to be like your tankers and everything. And it says he's even durable, so he has the ability to last longer in team fights, and you can kind of hover over these as well if you feel that you need to. For example, Dragon Knight, it tells you he has all these, and they're in order as well. So he's a melee, carry, which we'll go over with a little bit later in this video. I was trying to think. So when you see these people like Dragon Knight and stuff, obviously, we're only looking at strength. You're going to see their different attributes and their abilities listed here as well. You also have the ability to demo the hero if you want to check out the item set or the hero's abilities, if you kind of just want to mess around and understand. But I guess we'll kind of go through this one by one. So the strength, again, we discussed how they have more health and everything. The agility is going to be your a lot of it is going to be your carries and stuff as well. So if we look at people like Phantom Assassin, we'll go over again what a carry is. Actually, let's just tell you right here. They become more useful in the late game if they gain a significant gold advantage. So basically that means that you might be a little weaker during the beginning of the game, and you have to kind of work around that. That's going to be your struggle, and you're going to be the carry. You're supposed to carry your team and to the win, to the victory, right? So being a carry is a huge responsibility, and obviously we know what melee is. You have the melee and range. Escape, we'll go over this as well. You have the ability to quickly avoid death, and you can see as well here there's the different bars. So a 3-bar carry and a 1-bar escape kind of rates them and tells you how good they are in that sense. If you look at somebody like Sniper, he's a carry and a nuker. If we look at nuke, you can quickly kill enemy heroes using high damage spells with low cooldowns. So you'll be great in team fights, basically, is what it means. You're looking for someone who has a lot of AoE, which is area of effect damage. So agility, we kind of discussed how they are going to be your carries, a lot of your carries, and that type of stuff. And you're going to see a little bit, and I'll show you once we get in game 2. It has to do a lot with the different attributes, because they're different attributes: strength, agility, and intelligence. Intelligence are going to be your casters. Almost every one of these, or they all should be casters. So if we look at, Zeus, for example, really good mid lane hero. He's a nuker again, like we said, and he has a 3-bar nuker. He, can get kills easily. Helps out a lot in team fights. You can also see that he is ranged. But all of his abilities are casting, and you can go over to the different types of damage, but they're all magical damage. My bad. Shadow Shaman. You can see support. Now this is going to be something I want to focus on for the new players as well. Supports can focus less on gold and items and more on using their abilities to gain an advantage for the team. So basically, what that means is you want to help out your team. You don't need a lot of gold. You don't need certain items to really help out your team. You can help out your team at level 1, if you have the right abilities and stuff and you know how to play that hero. You can cast your abilities and stuff. And all of these are going to be magical, except for his ultimate is going to be a physical damage. We'll go over that later. So I said that very quickly. Hopefully I kind of got you guys everything on there. The main menu, if you want to go back, you could just click this. Your settings is going to be on the top left. If you click right here, you guys can see your different controls and everything. I have my graphics all the way up and everything, so that's where all your settings are going to be. The store, if you need to buy things, watch. You can potentially watch other people play as well. Sometimes that might help you get better, but for now, I believe the best choice, maybe just go to practice with bots. We're going to put them on passive, and there are 2 teams, and I'll actually put the map up on the screen right now, and we can talk about this. The 2 different teams right now, you have the Radiant and the Dire. And if you look on the screen, you're going to have this map, and it's going to show the top, middle, and bottom lane. So most MOBAs consist of a 3-lane map. And this is pretty much the main map and probably, the most used map. You really will never get tired of it. This map will keep you entertained. It's not like, Call of Duty or Battlefield or whatever game. This map is the map. It's a legendary thing. You need to know your way around the map, that type of stuff. So I'll briefly explain now, and I'll show you once we get in the game. So there are 2 secret shops. In these secret shops, you're going to buy things that are typically for later game items, something that's going to help you in the late game. And you can go to any secret shop and buy your items there. They typically cost a lot more gold, which is why they're later items. You're going to have creeps, which are like the little minion things, and they're going to push each lane. You have a top and a middle and a bottom lane. These creeps are going to push every single lane, and your job is to defend your lane and defend the towers. Now you have these towers, and the enemy team wants to destroy these towers, and you're also trying to destroy their tower. Likewise, and they're going to be defending their tower, and the object is to get into their base and destroy everything. You want to destroy the barracks, you want to destroy the towers, and just kind of go from there. So you also have the Ancient, which is the game winner. If you destroy the Ancient, it's a huge building in the pool, which we'll go over that again. It's a mana pool and health regen. Stand next to it, and your mana and health will regenerate over time. You also have 2 side shops, and these side shops are only going to be in the top and the bottom lane. So in the side shops, you can buy basic items that you're probably going to use for just early on in the game. And they're going to help you out, and that's something you want to use because you basically want to stay in that lane as long as you can, because you're going to want to push the lane, and if you fall back, then you're not defending, and if you're not defending, the enemy team has a chance to push the lane and possibly get the win, right? You also have another thing that's important too, is the jungle. The jungle is a very important role. We talked about how these carries in the game are going to need a lot of farm to accomplish what they need, right? They're going to need a lot of farm to win the game and kind of help their team. That's like the struggle of a carry. When you play a carry, you typically want to jungle a lot whenever you're not in a lane. So if you're not in a bottom or top lane, you want to be in the jungle getting as much gold as you can, which is called farm. The more gold you get, the better items you get, the more XP you get, and in return you're just going to be a better player. So that is important. Jungle, and there's a Radiant. There's basically like a safe and a hard lane. The safe lane on the Radiant is going to be on the bottom, and the safe lane on the Dire team is going to be on the top. You need to know these if you are going to jungle, because the safe lane is always in the jungle. The jungle is always in the safe lane. So just kind of remember that, and it'll be on the map as well. You guys will see. It basically just has to do with how aggressive you're playing and the heroes you have as well. And it's random. You never know what team you're going to be on. Another thing I will mention about before we get into this is the Roshan. So in the Roshan pit, he's this huge giant dude, and you kill him and you get this Ages of the Immortal, which means when you die, you get an extra life, basically. You know, like, I don't know if this is Mario or what, but you get an extra life. And that's really useful because obviously you want to not die, because if you die, then you have to wait to respawn and you're not getting gold, and the other team has a potential to destroy the tower while you're dead as well. The towers will attack you, and you also want your creeps to go in the tower before you do, or at least make sure the tower is attacking the creeps. Otherwise, it'll attack you. Pretty much, basically, I think that was all that needs to be said. Let's go ahead and hop in the bot match. So we're doing solo, of course, and I'll pick Radiant. The Radiant's going to be a lot more green, while the Dire is going to be a lot more darker. There's not really like a good and a bad, but you'll eventually get the hang of it, and you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about. Now, you're going to load in with the rest of your team, and when you get the loading screen, you'll see a bunch of heroes, different characters, as you can see right here. You can do the card view, or you can do a grid view, and this is basically if you kind of know who you want to play, and you can also customize it to your liking as well. For the purpose of this video, and especially being a new player, I would recommend Dazzle or some kind of other support. You can also do filters as well. So let's say we want to do a support, right? And we kind of went over, I want to be a range support. So I can kind of look through here and see all the different range supports. And it's quite a few. So you guys can see, and it kind of lights them up here as well. So I will pick Dazzle. He's a range support. And then also on the map, when you're in the loading screen as well, you can also kind of pick what lane you want to go. So like, I would say I want to go bot, right? And we discussed how if you're on Radiant, it's going to be the safe lane. And you can also kind of talk to your team as well, but we're playing with bots. So you could just be like, hello. I spelled hello wrong. And then you can kind of communicate with your team, or you could use a voice chat as well. You always want to communicate with your team. That's very good. Here, if you have any customizable like skins or anything, you can use those. Alright, real quick right now, what I want to discuss, now that we're in this game, is the level up system. So you do have the option to level up when you first get into a game, which you want to use. You're going to level up by getting in a lane, as we discussed earlier, the 3 different types of lanes. So we'll start with the top, which is going to be the hard lane, the medium, and the bot safe lane. And this is because we're on Radiant as well. But when you're in the lane, you see these creeps are going to push up. And if you're near them and you start killing other players or other creeps, you're going to get more XP. When you get more XP, you're going to level up. Now, when you level up, you're going to see this right here. It's going to be gold, then it's going to be shiny, it's going to be flashing at you saying level up, press 1, plus 2, however many levels you have. You're going to want to click that, and you're going to see your different abilities right here. So you have your Q ability, your W ability, E ability, and your ultimate, which is going to ultimately is going to be your R ability. I just said ultimate way too many times. It's going to be your R ability, unless if you change these keys. You also have the potential to put a point into your attributes, which we discussed before, the different types of strength, agility, and intelligence. Since Dazzle is an intelligence hero, for every point you put in here, it's going to increase damage by 1, increase mana by 12, that type of stuff. You're going to see these bars right here as well. 520 health is what I have right now. 374 is how much mana I have. And this is also the pool as well, the fountain. So, needless to say, you kind of want to figure out what's going to work best for you, and this is only going to work by kind of figuring out who the other team has and figuring out how to play the hero or the character that you want. So for now, I'll put this in my Q ability, and you're going to see that it slows the target by 33% for 3 seconds. And if you look kind of at the top, it says damage type, physical, ability, unit, target, affects enemy unit. So you know now that it affects the enemy, and it's a physical type of damage, but it doesn't pierce spell immunity. So let's kind of go over this a little bit now that we have the time to. So there are different types of damage. You have a pure damage, a physical damage, and a magical damage. Pure damage is probably the best damage that there is. If it says it's going to do 100 damage, then it's going to do 100 damage. It is not reduced by magical resistance and is not amplified by items in the game. It fully ignores armor and damage block. So basically, it deals and does the amount of damage that it says it's going to do. Then you have the physical damage, which is what this ability is right here. And it's going to take resistance into consideration, and is modified by both armor and damage block. So when it says modified both armor and damage block, if we hover over the shield here, it's going to say attack damage, attack range, physical armor 2.0, and it also has a number underneath it as well for 2 damage. And then it says physical damage resistance 10%. So there is a formula here that if the other enemy is using a physical damage to you, they have a certain resistance to that. So this ability is going to have a physical resistance to it, because if they have the physical damage resistance and the physical armor, it takes all of that into consideration. The third type of damage is going to be the magical damage. And this type of damage takes magic resistance into consideration, and magical damage is primarily caused by spells. So I don't have any magical spells right here. They're all like physical and then healing and stuff. Another thing I want to tell you guys about is spell immunity. However, if we go to the shop, which you can click right here at the bottom right, it says shop, and we click on we look up Black King Bar. You guys can see it right here. The active ability grants spell immunity and 100% magic damage resistance. So it's magic damage resistance, and it grants spell immunity. The thing is, if you look at this ability, it does not pierce spell immunity. So it wouldn't be able to slow them down. It wouldn't, cause damage over time, because they have the damage resistance and the spell immunity. And the poison touch ability right here, as you guys can see, it says it does not pierce spell immunity. When looking at items in this game as well, I know this is probably a lot to take in, and hopefully I'm a very good teacher. You're going to have items that kind of make up this item. So Black King Bar, you have the Org Club, the Mithril Hammer, and obviously the recipe for it. So there are other items that can be used to combine with this, which we could explain in another video, but I just briefly want to explain it now. These items make up that. So right now it costs 3,975 gold. However, if I buy this, it says the cost to complete is 2,975. So it takes in consideration that I bought a part of the item. Another thing I just did, and I'll show you guys again, is when you buy something and it appears in your inventory, you have the option to sell it or move to the stash. I'm going to sell it because I don't need it right now, and then I'm going to get my gold back. But you only have a certain number at a time if you want to get your full refund. This is going to be really interesting. Arcane Boots is a very popular item to get on Dazzle because of the need for mana, and if you look at it, it replenishes mana. But what I really want to show you guys is that it's made up of 2 items, Boots of Speed, and then Energy Booster. The Energy Booster, if you look, it says it requires Secret Shop. As we said before, there are 2 secret shops. One of them is going to be right here, and then the other one is going to be right here. So 1 for each team, basically. We also discussed the side shops. The side shop's going to be right here, and the other side shop is going to be right here. They're on opposite sides, And you can actually see my teammates are going there, the bots, because I told them that there was something there when there really wasn't. So that's my fault. But a courier is going to be a very important item for support. It basically delivers items to you. You can actually look right now, Wind Ranger is using it. So the courier will deliver items. So it says Francis bot purchased these items, and they're probably going to be getting the boots. Yep, they are. So if you watch, she just got phase boots, and now the courier is coming back. So if I were to tell the courier that I wanted something, it would bring it to me. So that's really helpful. And I'll do that real quick to show you guys as well. So I can open up the shop, and if I'm not anywhere near like the fountain, then I'm not gonna get the item. So let's say I tell it to bring me a healing or a boots of speed, right? I need boots because it gives 45 movement speed. I click on that, and then I click right here on the bottom right. It says courier deliver items, and now the courier is going to deliver the items to me. And if you check my inventory, I now have the boots of speed that I needed. We're 7 minutes into the game right now, and you can tell that it is nighttime. If you hover over it, it says night, and it says 5 a.m. The map looks kind of dark, and of course there's going to be fog as well. So you won't be able to see everything, right? I can't tell if there are people here or not. And somebody's using that courier too. But you can't tell if people are there, and now it's actually daytime. Now, obviously it's important you know where the enemy is. So there are two types of wards here. Observer wards, which when used, it plants an observer ward and an invisible watcher that gives a vision of its surrounding area to your team, and it will last 6 minutes. So you can buy some of these, right? And then something else you might want to look at is if we look up here, we can type in ward, and you're going to see there's also sentry wards. Sentry ward is an invisible watcher that grants true sight, the ability to see invisible enemy units and wards to any existing allied vision within its range. It lasts 4 minutes. So now I have both of these wards in my inventory right here, and you can kind of move things around as well. So what I want to do is, people will often place wards where they think the enemy is going to go that way. They can kind of set up for a fight. If there are any invisible heroes, which the enemy does have invisible heroes, they have a bounty hunter who's invisible, and that's their only invisible hero. So we can place this right here, and you guys can kind of know. Oh, look, now we can see things. If you walk away, it's still going to be lit up, and it shows you where it's going to be lit as well. It's lit. Now, the sentry wards, I don't know. I could place these here, and they cover a smaller area of range, right? So you can also get these runes. They spawn here every 2 minutes. I'm going to pick it up because it's almost 10 minutes. So I pick this up, and then another minute, another rune spawn. So now I pick up an invisibility rune. So I could try and set up for a fight and help my teammates, right? I briefly explained pretty much everything you need to know to begin with Dota. The boon over the types of damage, the armor, the different heroes. And I can actually use this ability right now too, so. It's a passive bot, so they're never gonna attack me. But you can see that ability slowed his movement speed down. And now he's running away. Something else I want to show you is the focus on last hits here. You can, if you get the last hit on a creep, which I'm not going to be able to do, you get gold from it, and basically you use that gold to buy more items. So it's important that you kill these. And you're also going to see I'm going to level up pretty soon as well. There's that level bar on the bottom left, and I just leveled up. So I can get this if I want, right? So now I have another ability. And it tells you what it does as well. And I don't have my team near me. There we go. But I can actually heal my teammate and myself. There you go. So that's very important, and you kind of just want to stay here and attack these. And you want to push and then attack their tower and kill their tower. So that is the main objective, is to kill these towers. And then you'll see there's another tower right here, another tower, and then you have the barracks, the melee and range barracks. And then you can push up, and you're going to see actually the ancient right here. So it says Dyer's Ancient, and it tells you how much health they have. And when you destroy the ancient, you win. So hopefully this helped you a lot. I know we kind of went over everything with the side shops, and then also the secret shop is here as well. You guys can see. Now that I'm here, I can actually buy something. I'll buy the energy booster, because if you remember, the energy booster makes the mana boots. So now we have the arcane boots, aka mana boots, and we can pick that up and use it. And we also have regeneration aura as well. So I want to show Roshan, and then I believe that's going to be it. Heal my teammate as well. And there's a river right here as well, so kind of keep an open eye out for that. Placed a sentry, placed a sentry ward and then an observer ward. I have the bounty, and then you also picked up that rune and I leveled up again. So now I also have my W ability. And you can see Roshan, he has 10,100 health. He has Age of the Immortal, and yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know for maybe your first few games of Dota, or the first video in the series. I realized it took a lot of time doing this. Hopefully you guys really did enjoy though. I tried to explain as much as I could, or you know, what I guess would be helpful to you guys. So I'm gonna run. You can also right click on the map as well. So I'm just gonna run back to my base. Thank you all for watching. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Later.